Introduction to texture and pattern in interior design. Texture and pattern are powerful tools in interior design that can transform a space, adding depth, interest, and character. While color and furniture shape are fundamental, texture and pattern introduce tactile and visual variety that can enhance the overall aesthetic of a room. Understanding how to use these elements effectively can elevate your interior design and create a more dynamic and inviting environment. Understanding texture in interior design. Texture refers to the surface quality of materials, which can be felt and seen. It adds dimension and richness to a space by creating contrasts and interactions between different surfaces. In interior design, texture can be introduced through fabrics, finishes, and materials such as wood, metal, glass, and textiles. By layering textures, you can create a more engaging and visually appealing room. Choosing textures for different spaces. Different spaces benefit from varying textures to suit their function and atmosphere. For living areas, consider incorporating plush fabrics like velvet or wool for a cozy feel. In contrast, sleek and smooth surfaces like glass and metal can enhance a modern or contemporary look. For bedrooms, soft textures such as cotton and linen can create a relaxing environment. Select textures based on the desired mood and function of each room. Incorporating patterns for visual interest. Patterns add visual interest and can define the style of a room. They can range from geometric shapes to florals, stripes, and abstract designs. Patterns can be introduced through wallpapers, fabrics, rugs, and accessories. When using patterns, consider the scale and placement to ensure they complement rather than overwhelm the space. Combining different patterns can add depth, but aim for a cohesive look by balancing bold and subtle designs. Layering textures for depth. Layering textures is a key technique for adding depth to interiors. Combine various materials and finishes to create a rich, multi-dimensional look. For example, a room with a leather sofa, a wool rug, and silk curtains will feel more dynamic than one with only one type of texture. Use texture to create contrast and highlight specific elements, such as a textured accent wall against a smooth sofa. Balancing patterns and textures. When mixing patterns and textures, balance is essential to avoid a cluttered appearance. Start by choosing a dominant texture or pattern to anchor the design, then introduce complementary elements. For instance, a room with a patterned rug can be balanced with solid-colored cushions and textured throws. Ensure that the patterns and textures you select harmonize with each other and fit within the overall design scheme. Using textures to define zones. In open-plan spaces, textures can help define different functional areas. For example, use a plush rug or different wall finishes to delineate a living area from a dining space. This approach creates a sense of separation while maintaining a cohesive design. Textures can guide the eye and help in visually organizing the space, making it feel more structured and intentional. Applying patterns and textures to smaller elements. If you prefer a more understated approach, use patterns and textures on smaller elements such as cushions, throws, or lamps. These accents can introduce visual interest without overwhelming the room. For instance, patterned cushions on a plain sofa or a textured lampshade can subtly enhance the overall design while maintaining a balanced look. Choosing the right color palette. The color palette plays a crucial role in how textures and patterns are perceived. Neutral backgrounds often allow textures and patterns to stand out more effectively. Conversely, using patterns in colors that blend with the room's scheme can add depth without being too bold. Consider how the colors of your textures and patterns interact with the rest of the decor to ensure a harmonious design. Conclusion. Incorporating texture and pattern into your interior design can add depth, interest, and character to your space. By understanding and strategically using various textures, patterns, and color palettes, you can create a dynamic and inviting environment. Whether you choose to layer different textures, balance patterns, or focus on smaller accents, these elements can enhance your design and bring your vision to life.